All right, good afternoon. Welcome back to PALS TV. It's been a lot of fun today, heading from Jefferson County to Licking County. Now we've been in Franklin County. And we're going to jump to another location and join Jackie now. Jackie's done some fantastic segments for us already. I know I really enjoyed the travel segment when she gave us so many helpful web pages and resources that we could use if we ever decide to go on a trip. And I love that segment, and I'm sure today will be no different. So live from Columbus, we have Jackie Rosa.
Hi guys, good afternoon. I hope you're all well. I see Alex. Hi Alex. So last week we talked about a bunch of gear for outdoor adventures, backpacks and sleeping bags and things like that. Hi Ryan. So this week I was going to actually do accessible things, accessible adaptive equipment, basically. So adaptive equipment. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to share my screen and I'll talk, and then after that I'll go for questions and things like that, because I can't see you guys while I'm doing that. So hold your questions until later and we'll get right into it. Just give me 1 second. I'll share my screen with you guys. All right, guys. So the first thing I have is what's called a belly yak. So it is, hold on a minute. Oh, it is similar to a kayak. However, what it does is it lets you lay down. So this could be good for anybody really, but it would be better specifically for people that may not be able to like sit up without some type of assistance. So you could actually lay down on it. And they have different sizes and the colors look really cool, which is kind of fun. So basically it gives you almost like you're swimming if you're surfing. And I'll show you guys the video. Now they are quite pricey, as you see. But if it's, something you really want to get into, it'll be worth the money in the long run, if you use it for years and years. So this one is the 45. So the difference is this one, if you see at the bottom, it's 130 to 300 pounds. So this one is more stable and it can hold, a larger amount of weight. Let's see. There are, now it says great for rentals, outfitters, and institutional use. So they may be using these places. I haven't actually researched that. So that might be something for me to look into to see. So this one, it's wider and it has a higher volume, makes the most forgiving of all the belly yak designs. So this is made for folks that maybe need a little more stability, that would be rocking back and forth a little more and maybe causing you to tip. So this one's pretty cool. I really do like this one. There we go. Let's open up this screen. There we go. All right. I believe there is a video too, so you guys can like see it. Here it is, videos. Forgive me, I look up all this stuff like a week in advance and then I forget where everything is. So I'm gonna play a video for you guys. You may have sound, you may not. I'm not really sure. I really would like to use it. There's a video I thought that had, well, let's just watch this one and see how it goes. All right, so if you guys saw, it's just like a different way to do things. You know, you're not using a paddle, you're actually using your arms, which is really cool. It's a different type of workout. If you see the woman, she put like these type gloves on. I'll show you guys those later too. Those give you a little more area when you're paddling, so you can tread more water at a time, which is pretty nice. And what might be also helpful if you had some issues with your hands, some fine motor issues. As long as you could get them on, it would give you a little more area. So that would be pretty cool too. I'm going to move on here. Where is, I think this is where I wanted to go. Oh, okay. So this is really cool. It's the website's creatingability.com, and as you guys can see, these are seats that you can add into kayaking. I don't know if any of you guys have ever kayaked. A lot of times there might be like a little seat on the back. Sometimes there isn't. You just like roll up a towel or something like that. But this is kind of neat because, let's see if we can click on this. So you can scroll through. So just like I was talking about with the belly yak, for folks that cannot like support the top of their body as well, this will do it for you. So you see there's these side pads, and it would hold your body, from tipping back and forth, which is really kind of neat. Now, I'm not sure about the pricing on these. Oh, and this I wanted to show you guys. I thought was really, really cool. This is called the Kayak Chariot. And what it does is it connects to the bottom of the kayak. And, for folks that use a wheelchair, it may be harder to transfer themselves out, like while they're in the water, it's like kind of unstable. So what you can do is this attaches to the kayak. It almost acts like a trailer. And so what you could do is you can transfer from your wheelchair. And there's also this bench that's really cool, this transfer bench. So you can use that. If you see underneath the little chariot, this up above is underneath that. So you can slide on to the transfer bench and get right in. And then with this kayak chariot with the wheels, you can be rolled right into the water, and then those come off and you're good to go, and you can come out the same way. The point of it is basically that it's easier to transfer on dry land, and you don't have to go down as far, because getting out's going to be the harder part. Getting down's a little easier than getting up, which I thought was really cool. They also have cushions as well. Folks that use wheelchairs, a lot of people do have cushions on them because, after a while it gets hard to be sitting all the time. For those of you, and myself included, that don't sit all the time, you don't always realize these things. But I thought this was really cool, like this bench and the chariot, as they call it, and the whole seating system. Like it's really cool. You can basically adapt it however you want. And so these seats too can be adjusted. All these cushions can be adjusted, so if you need support in different areas, they can be moved up and down, also depending on your height. If you see on the back, let me go back. If you see on the back, there's like a little pin you can pull out, so it'll adjust to the size of your torso, meaning the area like above your waist, like up to your neck. That's your torso area. So I just thought this stuff was really neat. And then if you guys see over here, these are called outriggers. So what they do is they help you to stay kind of like steady is what they do. So, if you're not a very confident kayaker, or maybe you're somewhere where you think you'll tip easier, this also helps for folks that don't have minimal balance, because it is actually a lot of stabilizing when you're trying to kayak. So these are pretty cool. They're called outriggers, and they just go on the back and they help balance the kayak out. So these are all like really, really cool things. Let me see. They have some other stuff too. There are paddle adaptations. Oh, this I wanted to show you guys. I think this is it. This is called the paddle pivot. So basically, I wish it would show me. Where's the... This is pretty cool too. Here, actually, we'll just go all down the list. So this is the hand adaptation, and it kind of goes down. So this is designed for use by those who have some hand function and can grip the paddle shaft on their own. But you may need some support keeping your hand in place. So this is pretty neat. And then the next one is if you are not able to grab your paddle. So it slides right in, and then you're basically connected to it. So it's pretty neat, and it helps you paddle. And the next one was my very favorite. This is the paddle pivot. So this is kind of neat, especially if you're afraid like you're going to drop the paddle or something like that, which I would even use too. My hands and stuff go numb, so I have trouble sometimes holding stuff and I drop it. And, you know, once you don't have a paddle, if you guys have ever heard the phrase up a creek without a paddle, well, that's about it. You're in trouble if you don't have your paddle. So basically this rotates as you rotate, and it holds it for you, which is really neat. Let me see if I can find, it would be cool if there was like a video. I thought I did have a video with this. Let's see if we can see videos. There is not. There are some other things. So we got that. Oh no, that's not the one I wanted. Give me one moment, everyone. Oh, they also have sled hockey. I didn't click on that one. Let's see what that is. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted. I'll show you guys something different here in a minute. All right, let's go. Let me go to a different site here. Here it is. This is, I think, what I was looking for. Let's pull this up. All right, this is what I've been talking about that I think is really cool. I was talking to Jonah about it. This is called DylanSchneiderDesigns.com. It's a Wisconsin veteran-owned business. So this is for folks that either have had arm amputations, so, you know, for whatever reason. Also, you know, if you don't have use of your one arm or something like that. So this is pretty cool. Let me see. So this hooks on to your shoulder, like it hooks to your life vest. So here, we'll just read the directions. So you hook the vinyl covered shock cord on the top plate over the ducktail on the rear of the bottom plate. So you just attach that to your shoulder, basically. Once it's hooked in place, you release the top plate and shaft, grab the quick release, and then you stretch it, and you can basically just move it however you want. So what I think there is a video here. I'll show you the video because me explaining it doesn't make any sense. So let me show you guys. Here we go. This guy's pretty good too. It's really cool to watch. So as you can see with that, it's really neat because you can go to the other side with it too. It's so movable, which is really neat. It gives you mobility that you may not have without it. You could switch sides, so you could get a regular paddle going too, you know, where you go on the right side and go on the left, but you just use the same arm. I just thought this was really, really cool. Let's see if we can. Let's see, product information. And as you see here, actually on this photo, she also has outriggers, which would help for a little balance. For me, I would say if you are using, you know, if you are only able to use one arm like that, I would probably recommend the outriggers because, you know, the outriggers are the little things on the side or on the back or front that balance the boat. I would say those would be helpful, especially if you have to rotate back and forth like that. You're going to be moving a lot. So you probably have more of a chance of like tipping over. Let me find, there's another website I found. It has like a bunch of stuff on it. And I can't, we'll just have to click around till I find it. Where is it? Okay, I think this is the one I was looking for. Yeah, it's called moveunitedsport.org. So they have, basically the way this works is they'll give you a list of equipment and whatever sport. So what you could do, you can go, so it's adaptive sports. Here, let's go back. There we go. Adaptive equipment. So they have beep baseballs, they have stuff for bocce and volleyball, curling, ice skating, all this stuff, sailing, skiing, snowboarding, hunting, paddling, all kinds of things. So what we're going to do is I think I'm going to just kind of click. I think the skiing and snowboarding is the one I wanted to show you guys. So I don't know if any of you have ever watched. They use a lot of these types of equipment on the Paralympics. So during the Olympics, they also have the Paralympics, you know, for athletes that have disabilities. Unfortunately, they only show them like in the middle of the night, but it's like really, really cool to watch. I almost rather watch them. So as you can see, this is called a mono ski, meaning mono is one. So it'll be one ski. It's pretty neat. So basically you could see their legs are strapped in, and then there's a series of springs. Let's see if we can get one that's not moving so we can actually, there we go. So it's pretty neat. You see there's a shock, and it looks like almost on the inside, kind of looks like if you look at your door, like at home, like a screen door. So basically that's the bottom of it. And then there's like a bucket. So that's where your bottom would go. And then your legs can be strapped in. Let's see if we can get, there you go. That's a better view. They want the green one. And see it, you see there's like buckles and things. This would be so your legs don't flop around, especially move around too much, especially if, say you don't have use to your legs. Sometimes they kind of move around and you can't keep them in one place. So these would be strapped in securely, and then you just ski. So let's see if we can find, so this is a mono ski, meaning there's only one. They also have one where you can have two of them. It'd be cool. Here's some videos. Let's hit some videos. I don't do these any justice until you can see what it does. Oh, this is kind of neat. We'll watch this one. This is like getting on the chairlift, it looks like. So that was a pretty short video, but what it really shows us is you could do the same thing, you know, just with different equipment. You know, they had somebody that was just using regular skis and somebody using this ski. And that's the whole point of this is, you know, that everybody can do the same kind of thing, maybe just in a different way. I wish I just, here we go. Action videos. That's what I wanted. Let's do this one. This is men's giant slalom, alpine skiing. Let's watch this one.
American in Tyler Walker will hope to finish better than Josh Elliott managed. 1:87, so better than Suzuki to the tune of getting on for 2 seconds. Good, strong, fast run here by Tyler Walker, who's been at the Winter Paralympic Games since Turin. He still hasn't troubled the podium. His best result was in the giant slalom, though. His first games 12 years ago in Italy. 6th in the Super G in the World Champs, and by 3.6.
So as you can see, goes just as fast, same amount of mobility. I would imagine it would take a lot more ab core strength to do that, especially because you're not balancing on your legs. I know it would probably help, you know, with the springs and stuff like that. But that I just thought was really, really cool. So let's go back. I'm trying to cover kind of all the sports. So we did kayak and things like that. Trying to go to snow sports. What's the other thing I wanted to show? One moment. I don't think this was it. But this is actually pretty cool if you guys want to look at it real quick. This is actually a prosthetic used to hold a pole. So like if you didn't have a hand or an arm, this would help you hold the pole. It's actually made for that. Like it's really neat. Let me go back. I'm gonna go to the sled hockey because I've watched this sled hockey and it is fierce. It's like really cool to watch. Let's see if we could, let's go to mobility sports. It's just kind of neat to know all this exists. Like I knew that some of the things did, but I didn't know that there was like such a broad amount of equipment available. So this is sled hockey. So it's played pretty much same way, same rules as regular hockey, everything. But you sit, and the really cool thing is the sticks. You use the sticks to propel yourself, but you also use the sticks to hit the puck. Let me see if there are any, just trying to see if there's any videos. One moment. Thanks for hanging in. Let's see. Let's hit learn more. Maybe we'll see something there. If not, I can play a video for you somewhere else. You know what? Let me just, what I'm going to do. All right, here. What I'll do is I'm going to do a YouTube video for you guys of sled hockey because I want to show you it in action. It's like really neat. Sorry guys, I'm a little behind here with the internet, but it's catching up. All right. So here we go. We're going to watch a little short video. This is really cool.
One way to describe sled hockey is putting disabilities on ice. These athletes navigate around the rink on a sled with a pair of hockey blades mounted underneath. They propel themselves with picks on the end of the stick, or in the case of goalies, on their gloves.
Just their daily lives are challenging more than a normal person would be. So I think that they relish in the fact of taking on something difficult and doing the
All right, so you guys got the idea of it. If you saw on the bottom of the poles, well, not the poles, of their hockey sticks, basically, is that they have little teeth to grasp onto the ice, which was really neat. So you would propel yourself with those, dig into the ice, and then when the puck gets past you, you flip it over, and you can hit the puck. It looks as though you can use either hands. I guess that would just depend on your ability. I probably could only use one hand. Probably only my left, which is weird because I'm right-handed, but I play hockey left-handed. Let's see what else we can find here. So I'm going to move on to some camping gear. Kind of a difficult thing to find often is a tent that is good, especially if you use a wheelchair, to have like the bottom, like a low threshold at the bottom. And there's one, is this the one I was looking at? This one's kind of different. It's kind of cool though. This is what I liked about it, is it's an A-frame, which makes it a little harder. It's a little sloped, so you can't like stand up in it or anything like that, but it's good if you want to kneel in there. What I liked about it, especially for being a little more accessible, this isn't, labeled as an accessible tent. It really was hard to find those things. If you go in a Google search and you're like, oh, I'm going to type in accessible tent, you won't really find like a specific website like this is accessible, but there are things that can be used and adapted. What I liked about this one is that you can go in on either side. Yeah, you can go in on either side or come out on either side, which is kind of neat. I thought that left a little room, especially if you had to like move your legs around or something and needed some room, you could open up the other end. So as you could see, you can see through it, which is kind of neat. I don't know. I just thought it was a really cool tent. And it's pretty low on the bottom, which would make it easier to get into. If, some of you guys have camped, there's tents, you have to kind of go over a little step almost. It's fabric and you can squish it down. So I thought that one was really neat. I think there was some other ones. I think maybe this is it. Oh, yeah. So this one I thought was cool because it almost has like an extra like space in the front. So if you were to transfer out of a wheelchair, or you have a walker, or you have crutches, whatever you may use, you could actually store them in this front part. And keep them out of the rain, because obviously you pay a lot of money for this equipment, for your wheelchairs and walkers and things like that. So you definitely don't want them ruined in the rain and all that kind of stuff. And it goes into this little bag, which is pretty nice. So I thought that was pretty cool. So you got a little room in the front there, and you can keep all your stuff. And you could even store your bags there and stuff like that if you wanted more room in the tent, for actual sleeping. All right, what else? Oh, and then here I was giving you guys, so this is an adaptive sports connection. A lot of people refer to it as task. I know we have gone there before, but they have a bunch of different programs, and they also have adaptive equipment. This one's pretty cool. I don't know if some of you have gone with me before. We had an adaptive cycling one, the bikes, and they have a lot of different kinds of bikes. So as you see, like this one is, if maybe pedaling would be something that's a little more difficult, this allows you to sit on the bike and use your feet. You're still getting motion, you're still having the balance and things like that, but that's an easier way, or an adapted way to use a bicycle. If you could see this one, it's pretty cool. She probably has more limited trunk support. So as you could see, it will hold her around that area, around the top, this trunk, as I would want to say. And then at the pedals, they're strapped, so it's easier to keep your feet on. So these are pretty cool too. There's also some handles on the back if maybe somebody would need assistance and need a little push. So that's pretty cool too. And they also have a bunch of different stuff. They have events. You can email folks and ask them what's going on. They also have, I think they have like a bike program. Okay, so the options are, you can rent one of the many adaptive cycles for a week at a time from the Adaptive Sports Connection. You can pay $50 a week or $100 a month. I do think they also have some resources for actually buying one as well. If you see this is kind of cool too. So these are ones that you can sit down. And as you see, the feet are just hooked in, and then you can pedal with your arms. So if you didn't have use of your legs or had minimal use of your legs, you could use your arms to propel yourself as well. So these are all different things, but so they have a bunch of different stuff you can do. And you can get a hold of them. You know, you can sign up for an event, as you see. I just clicked on cycling. They have water skiing, climbing, paddle boarding, sailing, boating. So this is something to really check out if you're like super interested in it. I have, hold on, let me close some of these windows, might help things run a little smoother. I'm going to show you guys one more thing, and then I'll take questions. We're going to move on to, that's not what I wanted. This is rock climbing, but that's not the equipment that I wanted. I wanted the adaptive. Give me one moment. Here it is. All right, this is mistymountain.com. And they have adaptive climbing equipment, which is really cool. For those of you that think like, oh, I could never do that, like I could never climb, like, you know, there is a way. There's a way to do everything. And these are really cool. So these are different kinds of harnesses. So the one you see in the middle, the arc harness, here, we'll click on it. There we go. And these are things that you might not have to purchase. You know, you can go places that have these types of equipment. If you go, they have Vertical Adventures here in Columbus. I think it's on like Bush Boulevard around there somewhere. I've been there before. They have a lot of adaptive equipment. They actually have what they call adaptive ascents. So you could just get in contact with them. They have certain, I think, like weekends and things, and they have all this equipment that you can use if you need it. But what's cool about this is that you can sit in it. So, you know, say you are someone that uses a wheelchair and you may need support, you know, while you're sitting and stuff like that. This is pretty cool. So it's a 4-point attachment system, which is really neat. And I would assume, I don't know if you can, but I want to show you guys, where is it? There are what they call ascenders. I don't see them here. They do have this pull-up bar. That's similar. Hold on. I'm going to search it for you guys real quick. There we go. Ascenders for climbing. So everybody uses these, but there's another one that has, I'm trying to see, it uses a bar. I really can't find it right now. Let's see if we can add like with bar and see if that works. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. Well, maybe I'll find that for you guys later on. But anyways, so those are some ideas of things that you can do, and things you can buy if you have mobility issues, or even if you don't, you know, like, I think it's really cool just to try this stuff. I've used an ascender before with a bar, which is really hard, actually. Actually, this is right here. Sorry, I didn't see that correctly. So basically what you would do is you would hold on to the bar and it grasps the rope and you pull with your arms. So it would be so you didn't have to grip holds on rock climbing walls and things like that. And you don't have to have use of your legs either to do it. You just pull up, and it's a lot of work. I will tell you that. I've done it before. I've tried it, and it's really, really difficult. All right, guys. So that's what I have for today. Does anybody have any questions or comments? Let me check the chat here. Oh, thanks, Alex. I see you liked it. Does anybody have any questions about this kind of stuff? Or have any stories about your own like outdoor type stuff? Alex, hold on, I'll give you 1 sec.
I like those kayaking boats.
I know, that was pretty cool, huh? I
Mhm.
didn't show you guys the other one, but there's one that like comes apart, which is really cool.
Mm.
Like if you wanted to, you know, easily store it, I thought it was really neat. It like breaks in half. It's pretty neat. Like if you don't have a
Mhm.
lot of space to keep stuff. Thanks for that. Alex, do you have any other comments about any outdoor stuff you like to do? Is there what do you like to do? Like what's your favorite
I want to go.
outdoor
I like to go kayaking sometime with PALS.
Okay. Have you gone kayaking outside of PALS?
Yep.
You have with your family or friends or?
No.
No. Okay. All right. Well, thanks, Alex.
Yep.
All right. Does anybody else have anything? Otherwise, oh, Gila, give me 1 minute. Let me get you unmuted. There you go. You're gonna have to hit the button there. There you go. What's up, Gila?
I got a bike.
Oh, you have a bike like
Yeah.
that? Oh, cool.
I can't. I fell, so I'm gonna fall.
Do you use it or no?
No.
No. Is it like a bike that is it different though, like the ones I showed you, or just a regular bike?
There's a one that I fell on my leg like 2 months ago.
Oh, you fell, you said?
Yeah. firefight one. Maybe in the can. Going on. I mean,
Sorry,
you're fine.
hold on one second. Okay. Anybody else? Anybody? Any stories? Oh, Caitlin, sorry, I didn't see you there.
I have super slide.
A slip and slide, that's adventurous. You're probably gonna, break your ankle here soon.
I did. I killed myself a lot.
You'll hurt yourself. Caitlin, what do you like to do, like outdoor stuff? Like outdoor adventures. What's your favorite thing to do?
Go swimming.
You like to swim? Would you like try one of those belly yaks that I showed you? I think that would be really cool. It would. I guess if you like to swim, it would probably take a little stress off of floating. If you're going, that would be fun. I'd really like to figure out where you could use those. That would be cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, Caitlin. Everybody else, anything? Are you guys good? All right. Well, thanks for sharing. Thanks for listening. Looks like Nick said the YMCA, I believe. I'm not sure if they actually have the equipment. They might have some adaptive equipment. I haven't been to the YMCA in quite some time. I know a lot of places do have some stuff that can help with adaptability.
They have some at the Y, but not a whole lot. And that's another self-advocacy topic that's always big and important, making sure that there's accommodations at a lot of these rec centers and gyms, and even canoeing. I think there's only been about 2 or 3 different places we found that were adaptive. You did mention TAS, though. That was a blast.
Yeah, and also Rec Unlimited. I worked there years ago, and I know Caitlin still goes there. They have some stuff, and they have a lift that you can use to help people get into the water and things like that. I don't know. They probably got more stuff. I haven't worked there in years, probably over 10 years. So, but it is. Sorry, go ahead.
They had a pontoon out there too, right?
Which is cool because you can literally just roll right onto it, which is really nice. They have like a ramp and you just go right on. I don't know if they still use. I hopefully have a new one because the other one used to die in the middle of the lake all the time. So I think Caitlin has something for us.
They do have a new pontoon boat.
They have a new one, so it doesn't die in the middle of Lake Crum, and you have to paddle it back.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to have a big long paddle, and it would die, like the battery would die in the middle, and you'd have to, with everybody on it. It's so funny. I probably wouldn't be able to do it anymore.
She loves plugging Rec Unlimited. It is a great place, though. How long did you work there?
I worked there a few years. I did it probably like, maybe 20 to 22. So 10, 11 years ago at this point. I started there as a counselor, and then I was did the programs like camp leader, or what was it called? Something leader. And I did some lease groups where you would open it up for folks that paid and hosted them and things like that.
Nice. Well, that was an awesome segment, Jackie. Thank you. Adaptive sports and recreation. Talked about some Paralympics in there. Paralympics.
Oh my God, I love the Paralympics. They're like my favorite. Sorry,
they are. They're great.
I love them. I love watching the sled hockey. I wish I could explain it better, but it's so cool to see it in action. I couldn't imagine going and then flipping right away to hit the puck. I don't know if I'd be coordinated enough. That's cool.
I've had the pleasure of reffing sled hockey.
Oh, have you? I was going to ask you.
Yeah, the adults, it's intense, because they go as hard as they can on the sleds at each other too. So there's different penalties though. So it's not like real hockey, right? You can T-bone somebody or things like that. And obviously it's not a penalty in regular hockey, but it's a penalty in sled hockey.
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah. If you went head on into their side, basically.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I would imagine I would be more afraid, if I'm on the ground, to be slammed like that. That's
They're
cool.
The kids, though, that's the fun part when you get to watch the kids out there and the freedom they have with being able just to go wherever they want on the ice and
Yeah.
no limitations. So it's cool.
Awesome. Thanks.
Thank you bringing all that stuff up and the Paralympics and how far we've come with the Paralympics. I think it was 400 athletes. I did this with adaptive physical education. So 1960s, there was 400. This last Olympics in Rio, there were 4,300 some.
Oh,
So,
okay. I didn't know the numbers. That's cool.
Yeah,
The only thing
since-
that bothers me is I feel like they just play it at weird times. Like, especially the Paralympic ones. I don't think they get as much, like, airtime on, like, prime time, which stinks.
They don't, but they at least play it in the same venues where for a long time they never played it in the same city that the Olympics was in. But since Seoul in '88 and I think Albertville in France '92, they've played them at the same exact location. So it was at Rio and Sochi, right? I think the last one, the Olympics, was in Sochi, Russia.
Was it? Yes, I think so.
Mm-hmm. And ESPN has started to air some things. I know they were doing the Special Olympics games where they did the United States finals and then some of the international finals. So good for them for jumping on that. All right.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Jackie. Great job.
Well, thanks,
segment.
everybody.
That wraps up our hour here with AOTL/Columbus/Jackie and our adventure, recreation, adaptive sports segment. So that was very cool. Going to finish out our day with American Sign Language. Raquel's going to join us. Really excited about this final segment today. I like to brag about our program in Columbus, and we get to bring it to all of you. So stay with us here as we close it out with Raquel and some American Sign Language. Thanks, Jackie.